Alright, y'all. I got a Smith & Wesson 38 Special, and I'm going to do a couple test fires because this is the first time I fired this gun. So, let me turn the screen to make sure you can see. Alright, I'm just shooting into a pond, so that's a stub nose. Nice little gun, so here we go. I'm going to bring you in close for this and let you see what I'm seeing. I think that was the last one. Yep. So that's the let's see here, Smith & Wesson 38 Special stub nose. I really like this gun. If my state ever gets concealed carry, this is the gun I will be carrying. I know it's only 6 shots, but you know, it's a good little gun. I'm going to actually start carrying this when I go in the woods because recently they spotted a mountain lion in my area, not too far away, and we're not really native to those. We're not used to being around them or whatever, so that's I'm going to start carrying this little guy. You never know. I don't think I'll ever need it, but you know, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So anyway, guys, that's that. I'll be back with you here shortly when I get down in the woods. Alright, guys, down here in the woods, and I got a couple questions on how well the shelter took the storm. It was, well, not really a storm, it was more of a dusting of snow, and it held up pretty well, looks like. I haven't been down here in quite a while, and I don't think I had enough sticks up here to support the leaves, so some of them fell down through, but it's dry as a bone back in there. I don't know how well you can see that, but I mean, it's bone dry out there. Out here it's kind of muddy and wet. It's nice and dry in there, so it held up really well. Made me this made out of a belt blank from Tandy Leather, and it just snaps around the belt loop on the knife and goes up and around my shoulder, and then I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. Let me bear with me here. You see that pouch there? That's a little pouch I made that holds a small flint and steel kit, and that rides back there. And then right here, where's it at? I can't really see because of the glare. Right here is a piece of leather going around the knife, and then I've got it held on with a leather cord. Seems to be the best way to do it, and it's adjustable to fit different sheaths that way. So it holds it nice and high. Thing I like about it, this leather is a little bit bigger than what I really needed, but when I bend over, it doesn't hang clear out in front of me like a neck knife would. It keeps it nice and handy, and I don't have to wear a belt in order to use my knife like this. So it works out good. Plus I got that fire kit back there. I'll show you a little bit better here in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off and show you guys the full setup here. So I'll be back with you in a minute. You can see the sheath there. That is the Blind Horse Knives Bushcrafter, I think they call it. But you can see how I just used the snaps that come on the belt to hook a buckle on. I just put those through the belt loop and snapped them. And then down here, I found that since different sheaths are different widths, I just took a piece of leather, wrapped it around, and then the actual belt that comes down has a hole in it, and that way I can put different holes or however I want, and then basically cinch it up with this cord so it stays snug on the knife. And I just put these lines in here for decoration, kinda. And then this small little flint steel sheath or pouch that I made. It's not the best looking thing in the world, but it works. And just unsnap that, and you can see I got my flint steel, some jute cord, and some char cloth, and so it works out pretty good. Like I said, it's just a belt blank from Tandy Leather. Take it over here to the four-wheeler so you can see a better look at it. You got to kind of measure it for you, but like I said, this piece here allows me enough room where I can fit it to other sheaths if I want to. All my sheaths have belt loops, so I can always use that part. And then, you know, just by cinching it different ways, you can adjust it to fit smaller or larger belt loops or sheaths. And then the little flint steel kit. That's all I would really want on there. I could add more things, little pouches and whatnot for other things, but I don't really think I need them. This way I've always got my knife in a way of making fire with me at all times. It's pretty much attached to me. It's kind of hard to get off because I made it small enough where it's pretty much right underneath my arm, and it's not just going to come off on anything. So that's the rig there. Let me know what you think of that, and I'll be back with you here shortly and show you another project I've been working on. Alright guys, here's some more leather work I've been working on. This is not perfect either, but it does do the job. Basically, I just made a little axe cover for this double bit axe. This is a head. When I found it, it was painted and it was all dulled up, and somebody'd use a bench grinder to sharpen it, and it was all messed up on the edge, so I had to take the edge back and resharpen it and reprofile it and clean it up. And then I found a handle for it. This is a nice hickory handle. You see there, the grain's not perfect on it, and it did chip a little bit when I was hanging it, but it works good. And basically it works the same way on both sides. I have a copper rivet there to hold this strap on this piece of the sheath, and then that goes over to a Celtic knot snap, so that unsnaps there, and then you flip it over and you have the same thing on this side. And then you can take your sheath off individually, and then you could put it on your belt if you really wanted to, but I just snap it back together, and that way they'll both pieces stay together. And I usually will just throw this in my pack until I get ready to pack up. Anyway, it's kind of hard to do one-handed. But that's the leather work I did. And then the axe itself, if you can see that, is a True Temper flint edge, and it's about a 2.5 pound head, maybe a little bit more. I didn't weigh it, just guessing, but it cleaned up real nice, and it's nice and sharp, and it's got a nice handle on it. And I've been splitting locust with it, and I'll show you that here in a bit. But it's a nice little double bit axe, and I really like the balance of it and the way it feels when you chop. It's going to take a bit to getting used to with that extra edge there when you go up to swing over your head. But I think all in all, with a little practice, that's going to be a nice felling axe. Again, you know, if you guys have any comments or questions on that, one of these days I've got an axe head that I still need to clean up, so I might do a video on how to refurbish an axe and how to hang an axe and all that stuff. I didn't do it on this one because I was kind of really itching to get it out and get it, you know, finished up and ready to go. I think it looks really nice. And the sheath, although may not be perfect, you know, I'm not an expert leather crafter, but it does the job by covering up the handle or the edges, so they can carry it without worrying about damaging anything or myself. So I'll get back with you guys here in a little bit, and we'll test some stuff out. All right, y'all. Getting ready to make coffee. I got my irons, but I forgot to bring the chain or the hook, so I just took and put two, I can't remember the name of the knot, but it basically forms a loop, and it's high enough away from the fire where it won't get damaged by the fire, but yet at the same time I could take my pot of water, hook it on this thing here, and then it's not easy to do with one hand, but so then I got these notches on here. I just take my pot or my hanger, stick it up through here to the notch I want, and the rope will hang in that notch and hold my pot over the fire. So you could do this with 2 forked sticks and a crossbar. It's just an improvisation to make a pot hanger. I could have used the stick and the Y stick to make it good, you know, the traditional bushcraft pot hanger, but I got these irons, so why not use them? So this is that wood I used the axe and the machete to split up. So far this rig here is working out pretty good. You just got to check it every once in a while to make sure that it's not riding toward the handles down, especially if you got a knife that you know, rides loose in there. This one doesn't, so I don't have to worry about it quite so much, but then you have to just check and make sure this guy here is on the sheath right and it's not about to come off or nothing, because then you would drop your sheath. I guess I could put a hole and put a piece of that cord through there and lock it on, but I don't really see a need to do that. I didn't use the flint steel kit. It's kind of a backup kit. I'm gonna make a ferro rod to go in here, or a leather handled fire steel to go in there, and then I'll make another one of those little pouches that I showed you to hold some tinder for flint steel, like I don't know, I could use feather sticks, but I guess like petroleum jelly coated cotton balls, those would work good. Anyway, I'm just gonna have a little bit of fun today, just kind of hanging out, playing with some sharps. I got this bag the other day off Captain Bart. We traded, and it's a Camelback Hog with the Molly version. It's got all the Molly, and he added this extra pouch on here. But it's a nice bag. I've got another Camelback Hog, but it's the civilian edition, and I got this off of him. And then I also got this TSK back, which, if I remember correctly, was originally mine, that I got in a trade, and I traded to Captain Bart. Well, he didn't want it anymore, so I traded him back, and I'm going to play with this a little bit today too. And that just rides on the side. When I have a bag that's a Molly bag like this, I like to carry some sort of knife that clips on, just in case, which is a very rare thing that happens, that I forget my knife. Usually I have one in the truck at all times anyway, but that's you know, something else I'm playing with. I don't have a bladder in there today, but then something else I'm doing different. Got just water on, not coffee. And then I've got these Folgers, kind of like the Starbucks Via, the little instant coffee. This is Black Silk. Folgers is my favorite brand of coffee, and they just use one of those per cup. It won't be quite as strong as my regular coffee, but it'll still be good. I want to try those out because I have those in several of my kits. So that's what I'm doing right now. But basically just gonna hang out for a while.